Hi, so today I thought we would talk about 5 popular books that I cannot be convinced to read. So I've seen this type of video quite a lot recently and I just think it's super fun. Like, it's nothing to take too seriously. If someone mentions a book that you happen to love that they would never read, reading is subjective. So I just thought it'd be super fun because ever since I started doing like a lot of my own bookish content, like here or on Instagram or on TikTok, there are certain books that you just cannot escape from. And like, I am loving making bookish content because it's really expanding my reading horizons. Like, I have got so many books on my like wish list and things like that that I would never ever have considered reading until I joined like BookTube, BookTok, Bookstagram, all of that. However, there are some books, some super popular books, that I just will never read. No matter what anyone tells me, it will not happen. And the 5 books that I have picked, there's some biggies on there. So there's some super popular ones. So we're going there with it. We are doing the 5 popular books I cannot be convinced to read. So starting off strong, and now we've got a cat joining us for this as well. But number 1 is the ATAT series. And really, I've said the ATAT series, but it's any Sarah J Maas book. Like, Sarah J Maas is the queen of popular books on social media. Like, I cannot go a few videos or pictures or anything like that without seeing this series of books somewhere. Like, they're behind everyone on the bookshelves. Everyone loves them. Everyone says it's what got them back into reading as an adult. I can't do it. I cannot be convinced to pick up a single one of these books. It just does nothing for me. Nothing at all. Like, first off, they're all series. I do not do series. So there's ATAT, there's Throne of Glass. I am a mood reader. I cannot be going from one book to another in the same series, but if I had a break, I'd forget what had gone on in them as well. And these are some chunky books. Like, some of these, some Sarah J Maas books are big. I don't really do big books either, so it's an all-round no from me. Like, I don't think I've seen a bad review yet for ATAT, and I am dying to. Like, I know that might seem really bad, but I just want someone to validate my feelings on not reading this series, because I'm never going to do it. I'm never going to pick up a Sarah J Maas book. And if ATAT is what got you back into reading as an adult, I absolutely love that for you, but I will not be going there with these. So number 2 on my list, I mean, I'm going to pop up a singular book here, but really, in the least harsh way possible, it's another author. Like, it's probably her entire collection of books that I will not be touching. But I went for The Housemaid, but really, it's any Freida McFadden book. I don't know where to start with this, because I know there's so many people that love Freida McFadden books and say what good thrillers they are. I'm not convinced. Like, have people who have read Freida McFadden books read other thrillers? Because I happen to really like the thriller genre. However, and this is a reason why I'm super glad as well that my reading horizons are expanding, I think it's super difficult to find a thriller now that is genuinely shocking, has lots of twists in it, and hasn't been done before. Like, it's a really saturated genre, and I cannot be convinced that Freida McFadden's books are all completely original. Like, there's very few thriller books that take me by surprise now, and I just feel like Freida McFadden is not the one to do it. So yeah, I will not be trying any Freida McFadden books. The third book is one that has caused a lot of controversy on certain social media sites recently, and it is Haunting Adeline. Now, it is not on this list for the controversy because I'm actually not all that bothered. Like, you read what you want to read. Like, it does not bother me. It's on the list because I just don't think it's going to be a very well written book. Like, I have read the reviews for this that go beyond all the controversial things that people don't like about it, and it just sounds terrible. Like, I'll be honest, not terrible in terms of like, oh my goodness, you should not be reading that, it's so controversial. Just terrible in that it's not that well written. And if I'm going to commit to something like this that is not a genre that I normally go for, I at least want a well-written book. Like, I don't read dark romance really. There are a couple of dark romance books that have made it onto my wish list because of places like BookTok and Bookstagram and BookTube. This is not it. This is not going on the list, and it could be as controversial as you like. I don't care. Like, I'm all for a bit of controversy, to be honest, like, but please write a well-written book. The next one is like another series of books, but I'll be honest, it sort of encompasses any book that looks like this, and it's Icebreaker. This sort of thing does nothing for me whatsoever. Like, I know there's a few books in this series, but I'll be honest, my number 4 choice really is any book that looks like this. And I know that's really bad, I do. And I know there's lots of people that like this series, that like this book, that like books like this. Like, they're super popular for a reason. They're just not for me. Like, I don't do this. And yeah, like, even I feel like this sort of thing is very sort of holiday, summer, chick litty sort of vibes. No. Like, I spent my last summer holiday reading horror books, so that it probably gives you a good clue as to why I would never pick up a book that looks like this. But again, if you love that series, great. The last one on my list is a trilogy, and it is the Powerless Trilogy. At this point, I don't feel like I even need to explain why these have made it onto my list. They're another series of books that I see pretty much everywhere. Like, people go feral for these, and it's like the romantasy genre. Again, nothing against that genre. I've actually put a few books like this on my reading list now, despite the fact that I've never read a book like it before. But these just look super unappealing to me. Like, I do judge a book by its cover, and I am judging these books hard. And there is nothing about these books, like, there's no reviews, the covers, nothing can convince me to read them. They just do absolutely nothing for me. So, they were my 5 popular books that I cannot be convinced to read. I am going to film a flip side to this soon and do a 5 popular books that I have been convinced to read, because yeah, there's so many books now that I have just seen out and about, like on social media, that I would never ever have picked up, and I'm now fully convinced that I need to read them. But the 5 that I featured here, it does not matter what people say, I will never be reading those. And if you read them and you enjoy them, like, honestly, that is great. Like, anyone that reads, anyone that really enjoys reading, I love that, but I just won't be touching these books. I would love to know if any of these books are on your list of books that you can't be convinced to read, and let me know if there's any other popular books that you also would never read. And I'll see you guys next time.